Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Hey. Okay, Chrissie, please. Hello.
Thank you, Mayor and Councillors. Kia mihi te whenua, te manu whenua, me te reo ake o te whenua, toitu te tiriti, mōna mokapona. So please, can we remember our grandchildren? I have got just a few slides just to help me stay focused. Can I just say I'm pretty sobered after listening to Katrina and her not being able to answer questions, especially after hearing 15 minutes about football. So, you know, I just think, just felt really, her submission wasn't very well acknowledged, and that's just how I'm feeling. So my submission is a smorgasbord of issues, but I'm obviously not going to speak to them all. I'm going to try and focus on the ones that I feel are really important to me. The first one I'm speaking to is the Uniform Annual General Charge. A year ago, I sat here and talked about this. I'm absolutely devastated to see this increase of 30% in the UAGC proposed this year. It had been increasing about 5% every year up till last year, and I thought that was still too high. Tucked away on page 128 in volume 2, you find some justification for it, which I think is just spurious. One, it does acknowledge the UAGC is regressive, absolutely agree. It then goes on to say that owners' ability to pay is not considered likely to have a strictly linear relationship with property values. There's a very strong correlation between property values and people's ability to pay. This 197 is probably nothing to any of you, but it's very significant to people on low incomes and low property value houses, and people who are also paying for rentals. It then says we will apply a relatively low UAGC. 197 is not relatively low, especially compared with last year when it was 153. So I urge you to bring it back down to something more reasonable. Around 160 would be a 5% increase on last year. On my second slide, I'll talk to a couple of the issues. One is around climate change. I think the adaptation planning that's going on will take 14 years at the current funding. I absolutely agree we need to bring forward extra funding to create a second project team so you can halve that time. I actually think you need a third project team to complete that adaptation planning in 4 to 5 years, so then you can then get the district plan changes. We need to get ahead of the game. We need to get ahead of the next flood, the next big sea level rise, or big which is happening right in front of us. So, or the next landslide, or the next fire, whatever it is. So, can we please make sure that adaptation planning is accelerated? The sediment, every time there's rain, the sediment that's going down the Opawaho is just incredible. The ponds, retention ponds in the upper catchment are really effective for flooding, but they're not reducing the sediment by very much at all. We need to stop sediment at source, and by the best way to do that is to get some planting in every gully on the Port Hills. We need to invest millions of dollars in that, and we need to support the Adventure Park and the owners of the land in the Adventure Park, the McVickers, to not replant in pine trees after the fire. It's crazy that they replanted after the fire in 2017, and now they're just burnt down again. It's just because of their insurance seems to drive that. So if we can support and facilitate that, and I know volunteers will help to get native planting back into the Adventure Park post-fire, would be helpful. And the last thing on that page, this slide I talk about, is that the permanent co-governance entity, it's under the level of service, it talks about not having it established till 2025, 2026 year. That's another whole 12 months away. That's just ludicrous. There's no reason that it can't be done within the next financial year. And my last submission, I'm sure you've heard lots of people talking about the walking and cycling, but certainly the major cycle routes, I just absolutely need to be completed, especially where there's been significant planning and consultation happen so far, like the Wheels to Wings. It would just be really stupid to stop that. And I think that they have to go ahead independent of whether you have government funding or not. as a cyclist, there's a lot of us go out and just join up all these cycleways and make cycle routes around the city, and it's a lot of people my age are active in it. And the one that I didn't have on my slide, but I will just mention, is this in the consultation document. It talks about spending some money in the Pauaho Heathcote River to make it a site of ecological significance in the district plan. It already is a site of ecological significance in the district plan, so someone has messed up there. So maybe that money that you're going to put into doing that planning work could go into planting trees on the Port Hills. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, please? Aaron, and then Yanni.
Just around your comments on rates, Chrissie, do you think it's fair that people that bought houses in areas that have changed in value considerably over 50 years that are now retired pay a quarter of their entire income just in rates? Because it's not just, low income people, it can be lots of people in their retirement.
I'm not sure what the question, I'm not sure what you're saying.
You were referring to only people in low income areas, so low value properties, but the UAGC is unfair. But the rates are inherently unfair for people that are in areas that are rated really high if they're on a retirement income.
People on fixed incomes are finding money to pay, ever increasing payments, whether it's rates or groceries or power, all those things. It's tough. And as someone who's trying to live on the pension, we got an increase on the 1st of April, but it doesn't compensate for all the other increases. So absolutely agree. It's hard on people on low and fixed incomes.
Thank you, Aaron.
Effectively.
Yeah, no, just Yanni, we're 15 minutes behind already. Yanni, mate.
Just so you're aware, we've had submitters like Forest and Bird come in and actually want us to do more around areas that are called sites of ecological significance that don't seem to have much protection. So the desire is to actually enhance the protection around those sites. Rather than introduce it as a site of ecological significance, it's actually the budget is to look at doing more around protecting it and enhancing it.
But it is already, the plan says we will spend, to change the district plan to protect the Heathcote River as a site of ecological significance. I read that they were going to make it one. But
because we've had
that is it's to actually do more for the.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chrissie. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Ivor, please, is speaking for Chris. Is that right, mate?